Next up is a shotgun from South Africa. It was designed for urban combat in heavily built-up areas. Unlike similar products, this gun holds 12 rounds of 12-gauge ammunition thanks to the cylinder-type magazine. However, it is non-detachable, which means that the reloading process is similar to that of a revolver. The main feature is the movable grip for the second hand. The shooter can rotate the cylinder by turning it. All used cartridges are removed automatically with the help of powder gases, except for the last one. It has to be extracted manually with the help of an extractor rod. But the gun is reliable and shoots buckshot. Plus, it's quite compact. The Striker and Protector versions, with the buttstock folded, are 508 and 500 mm long, respectively. The Halo universe began with video games, but it has been so successful that it's branched out into books, comics, and movies. The sales are as fantastic as the game universe, with 16 million copies in 13 years. Not surprisingly, Halo has a huge community of fans, many of whom are pretty talented. Of course, we're still a long way from energy swords and photon weapons, but the MA5 series assault rifle is ready and tested. It's interesting that websites on the subject have a lot of information about the MA5. It's a bullpup gun that uses 7.62 by 51 mm NATO cartridges and looks a lot like an FNF 2000. However, we also have some questions for the designer. For example, the ammunition counter is supposed to have numbers in blue, but all the same, his work is worthy of admiration. People in the comments shared a jokey petition to designate the weapon as the main assault rifle of the US Army. This product makes us think of action movie props. Where else would you need such a strange weapon? The manufacturers proposed to assemble something like the Gatling system, that is, to combine several barrels on a special mount. For the experiment, we will need two Ruger 1022 rifles chambered 4.22 LR ammunition, a Gatling Gun Kit that comes with a tripod, barrel covers, and other useful stuff, and more magazines, ideally for at least 25 to 30 rounds. It fires 4 rounds per crank revolution and is only limited by your ability to turn the crank, the manufacturer writes. And it's a good thing the .22 LR is pretty cheap ammo because you'd have to shell out about $1,200 for the Gatling Gun Kit alone. From South Africa, the Vektor H5 is a pump-action rifle based on the famous Israeli Gallo rifle. In the early 90s, the South African legislation strictly limited the purchase of automatic weapons by the population, and since pump-action weapons were much more affordable, engineers modified the Gallo rifle and turned it into the Vektor H5. They had to remove the gas piston and add pump action. The final product, chambered for the 5.56 by 45 mm NATO cartridge, is compatible with 5, 10, 12, and 35 round magazines and optical sights, and is relatively easy to repair. Thanks to an attempt at unification with the Gallo, you can find one online for only $662. This model will please fans of steampunk. The designer posted his work on the website Renderosity and noted that when talking about the Victorian era, it's worth noting the practicality and elegance of the revolvers. Here's something a little less elegant but real, an airsoft version of the Mauser pistol. The original was famous for having enormous power for its time, so much so that the holster was used as a buttstock, and the shooting range was rated at about 1 kilometer. This airsoft model uses carbon dioxide for firing, has single and automatic fire modes, and uses 6mm pellets as ammunition. You'll have to pay $141 for your own Mauser.